Hello, 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 hello. How is everyone out there today? Oh, you know what? I forgot to take, it wouldn't be right if I didn't do something where I don't have myself on screen or sound or something, it wouldn't be right. So, and Jolin says hello, and Jolin's actually in here with me. So, yeah. Hey, don't forget, if you're watching, put the where are you from, country, city, state. I would love to know. Just put it out there. Also, we're just having a chitter chatter. So I have two members that said that they wanted to come in, so I gave them the invite. So I'm going to bring on Jolin. How are you, Jolin?
Good afternoon or evening or morning, wherever you may be. I'm doing well, thanks.
That's right. You have to do that nowadays because you never know. And also, Mark Barris. Hey, Mark, how are you, sir?
Doing good, thank you.
Good, awesome. Yes, excelente, love it. And then Mike says, greetings from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. Hey, there you go. And Nucky's out there. Hey, Nucky. Hey. Good day, good day. We got the Canadian bunch watching from out there. I love it. All right, so today's chat, I just wanted to let you know that this is just, I just wanted you to know and let you know that today I'm really didn't have a topic. I more just wanted to say, you know what, let's talk about kind of what we talked about 2 weeks ago. Not the geeks were on last week talking about photos and stuff, but 2 weeks ago we were talking about sitting down with a relative, in my case, my mother, sitting down and just filming and taking me film a book, photo book or something like that, or just talking about the past. I think is a lot of the conversation, having the words said and all that kind of stuff, and having her give part and insight to certain things. All those pictures just trigger thoughts and say, oh yeah, remember this is the trip we went to, whatever. Those are the kind of things we're talk about. What I wanted to talk about today, though, is what are some of the other ways? What are some of the things you can do? I mean, do you have to have a fancy camera? Do you have to have a phone? Do you have to have, do you have a still picture? Can you take some still pictures of you doing that with sound behind it? All that kind of stuff. Because I think the sound bites become more important because people listen. I mean, people listen. They do listen with their eyes. It's just like when you go to eat or something, you eat with your eyes first, you know what I'm saying, before you actually taste. And I do believe that, but there's something to that spoken word that you could go back and just sit back, even if you lay down and close your eyes and sit back and listen. Sometimes just listening to your mom speak to you or whatever. Since I didn't do very well at that as a kid, I think it's a good idea to go ahead and do that now. I haven't listened. And I'd love to get you guys' input. I know we talked about it, touched on it a little bit in the green room, but we'll start off with ladies first. Jolin, go ahead. Tell us.
Yeah. Well, really good things. One of the things I've been able to do is help transcribe other people's recordings. So recording a woman who did a tape recording, she recorded, I think, on her answering machine, a conversation with her father who was across the country. So, and they ended up, it was very close to the end, so to speak. So an audio cassette or an audio recording of a telephone call with, of course, the knowledge of both sides. And there are some, you say you don't need an app. There are some decent apps for phones that allow you to record a call. So that's a possibility. I think we're very lucky that we have some recordings of my father, who was a portrait artist, and we have some. Towards the end, I got him to sit down and record and also talk about some of what he does. We've also got some good recordings of other artists who came to visit him and took photo or video of his lessons for them. So that kind of thing. But and the transposing of 8mm film to video and or to CD or DVD now. Of course, we did it back when it was 8mm to VHS. So I took the VHS tapes and put them and digitized them all. We've got a lot of family stuff, and my nephew, who unfortunately passed away at 16, we have some marvelous videos of him. So it's, excuse me. So that kind of thing. But the photo, sitting down with a family member and a photo album is just a marvelous way to do it. Definitely. Oh, and one other thing, if you've got, like somebody has, I have a box of old slides and I don't know what to do with them. You can take you don't need a light box. You can take a tablet and make a white screen, opening like a document page that doesn't have anything on it, or of the monitor on a laptop. You can do the same thing. Go to a white screen, and you can put your slides on it and can see kind of what they are to tell, before you go and make the time to scan them all in, kind of thing. So it's a way to organize and be able to talk to the person who has them as you're putting them out, so you can figure out what they all are for future reference.
Exactly. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Hey, Roxanne.
Mark, hey, Roxanne, good to see you joining us. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm not sure if you know the topic. Do you know the topic, Roxanne? We're talking about our show 2 shows ago. We talked about sitting there with a camera or a video and sitting there video. And I talked about my mom sitting there with her with an old photo album and going through and sitting there taking it just so I have those memories and she could tell me about some of the relatives and stuff. So what we're doing today is touching on how to do that. What are some of the ways or some of the things you can do to do that? So that's the topic. Now, Mark, it's your turn. You were next. So I'm going to go to Mark next, and just be thinking, Roxanne, it's something you might want to say if you want to. You don't have to either. Go ahead, Mark.
I'm glad Jolly mentioned that about all the old Super 8s and all that. One of my family members had done that. I think he spent a lot of time, and he did exactly what I want to do. I enjoyed it so much, watching the YouTube videos of family movies. And the cool thing about YouTube, obviously, you can fast forward to the parts you want. You can put chapters or whatever for the people and all that. But it makes it so cool to go back and listen to somebody's voice.
Yeah.
You hadn't heard in 30 or 40 years.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
There's something about that voice. That just, I agree with you on that.
And to share it with family, like when I had that on, I was like, pulling in my wife and my son is listen to my grandpa play banjo in 1981, and all the family, we used to have family gatherings back then. And, he'd be like, right in the middle of it playing his banjo and everybody be having a great time. But to hear everybody's voices, that was just like, it was neat because it makes it easy to sit down with them and say, okay, that's Brent, that's Juanita, that's my mom, my dad. You may not recognize him in 1981, but that's that.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was, but
yeah, no, 100%. No, I agree with you. And I think that's a big deal. I mean, we keep mentioning sound. I really believe the sound part is a key thing. I really do.
Agreed.
And we kind of touched on this a little bit already, but the pictures are awesome. The video is awesome, but it's something about that sound and hearing their voice, somebody that you haven't seen or heard in like 25 years. And that's why I think it's real important. Like, even if my grandkids or my kids don't do this, if I do this and have this, because they remember my mom and my dad, but if they have video of it and can hear that, I think there's a trigger inside that I think is important. I think it's very
much
important. So sound. The other thing is, you don't have to get too technical. There's so many things in so many ways right now to record sound. You don't have to have a fancy device. Most of us have phones. Some people don't. Some people still, like older people, have a flip phone still. Some people won't get a phone. Whatever. But find a way. There's still the technology out there. There's still
recorder,
digital recorders, whatever.
You can still buy. You can still buy one of these little guys. There's a little Philips recorder, digital recorder. They're marvelous.
So that's my thing: is get the sound. Get the sound. That's the key. And make your own kind of digital photo book or whatever, and have somebody help you. I mean, I'm sure somebody would help you with something like that. And even if it costs a little bit of money, it will be worth it in the long run. All right, Roxanne, do you want to add anything to this, or am I putting all the pressure on you?
Well, I think of how far back you wish you had what we have today. Because one memory I wish we had. I mean, we had a video camera. We didn't think about carrying those things around everywhere. My grandma was in the hospital and had a brain tumor removed,
Goodness.
and didn't talk for a long time. And there was an area where everybody could gather, and if they wanted to do any kind of recreational things in the hospital to help them respond to the other patients, is where, do puzzles and things like that and cards. But they had a piano, and I play the piano, and went with my grandma and took her in there, and she sang in the choir at church. So one of my memories, which I wish I had a camera, you could pull out your phone now and just video it, but
Yeah, I
playing
agree. That'd
the
be
choir,
awesome.
playing the hymnals, she started singing.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
I know. And, you wish you had something like that then. So, it's great to have the things we do today.
And I think that's the biggest thing that I want. We get so caught up, and you bring up a great point. I think we get so caught up in our day to day that we don't take time to do this kind of thing. And I think it's important we do that. I really do. Even if it's yourself, like set a tripod. Like I have a tripod. I have a cell phone. I can set it up, and I can set it up behind myself. I don't even need to do this I could just sit there and go through the things that I do. Or sit there with my kids, go through their old yearbook. Do you remember this kid? I remember when this kid used to come to the house or whatever and stuff like that. Those are the things, because we'll do that sometimes like at Christmas and stuff, but we're not recording it. And that's what bugs me, because we'll be at Christmas and we'll talk about this. Hey, remember that time when you were playing baseball and such happened? I said, no, Dad, that wasn't there. That was over at this place. But we don't have any of that recorded. And I'd like to record it anyway so I can prove the kid's wrong. I mean, that's a personal thing there. I mean, I'd like to say that, Dad's right. I'm older, I'm wiser, whatever. But it doesn't always work out that way. But yeah, so I want video evidence, I think, is more what I'm looking for.
Okay, yep.
Anyway. No, I think, and Mark, you were talking about, before we start, I forget what you said. It was in the green room and I can't remember what it is now. I had it on my mind and I just lost it, but,
about the photos.
Yeah. What was it? It was about the,
just kind of, taking all these old photos, I mean, you've taught us lots of ways to scan them and digitize them, but then, I'm sure everybody's kind of seen some cool things you can do with the old black and white photos.
Yes,
Stuff, newfangled stuff online, right? You can go on there and colorize and really get a little bit of touch up, if you will, on these old photos, and they just come to life. And especially if you were there, you go, yeah, that's realistic. That's how I remember her in color. Right?
Yeah,
not in
that's right.
Color, and
that's right.
It's just more three-dimensional. It's a cool use of tech, I think. I think it's kind of neat.
Absolutely, 100%. And I'm glad you remember what I forgot. Because I think that's cool. I think it's a good idea, and it's kind of neat. One thing that I love to do too, and I've done this with some of my photos. I actually turn some photos that are color to black and white. I do. So then I have both.
Right.
And it's kind of cool. And I'll do a photo album of just black and white sometimes, or something like that. So yeah, I mean, you can do so many different things and so many cool things. And it's so funny because the kids will watch it and they'll say, oh, wow, was that long ago? You had a black and white. I'm like, no, I just did an album with that. Do you want me to do cursive writing too, or what? I just, I'll really throw them off. But I think these are all important things. What I wanted to reiterate and say again, just like I did the first show when we did this first show, I got a lot of compliments after that show. A lot of people said, you know what, that's a great idea. I mean, what a great subject. But let's take it further. How many people were actually doing it? Set up that time, schedule that time. Set your schedule so you do it. The other thing is when you do have family events, a lot of people meeting for the summer, some with family, some not. But if you are with family, be sure and get that. And I think even with your kids, even if it's just a personal family vacation, to start taking in some of that information, even if it's recording for a little bit. Hey guys, I'm gonna record our conversation. We're arguing over a game or something or whatever. And we can, and we can come back and I can say, remember when mom used to argue with us all the time because she felt that's because she was the banker. She always won. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Come on. Sorry. I think, no, but another, sorry, the cat just took my mind away. You were just talking about, family gatherings and stuff. That I mean, if you're on vacation, just to sit around, because so many people, everybody's still on their phones. The face is in the phone. Yep. So if you can convince your family to put the phone down, set it up to record, kind of in the corner somewhere. So just have a talk about the vacation that you're on, or talk about the team, the sports event that you all went to support one of the family members and that kind of thing. It is a way to still use a phone, but to put down the phone so you can actually communicate with each other.
Right. Good point. Valid point. Very good.
Lie down, Buzz.
Yeah, this gives me a good idea. My mom, she has so many photo albums, and
there you
they're like, when my mom and dad, when they were in Peru, and then I was in Peru.
Yeah.
And talk about, I mean, they went to a bullfight,
wow.
and showing the Inca ruins. And maybe just that gives me an idea to sit down with her and say, hey, Mama, go through these.
What a great idea.
Some of them are black and white.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
That was me.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
In black and white.
You still have those glasses?
It might be somewhere at my mom's, but yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about here. This is the time to do that, though, because a lot of times we wait and it's too late. And I think this is what's so important, to capture some of this. And you know what? You don't have to do it every time. Like every vacation, you don't have to do it. But I think a lot of times, if we just take the time, even to sit down with our kids and say, guys, let's sit down with your old yearbook and just hear them talk about their friends and all the stuff and things. Oh my gosh, I wonder where he is, or I haven't seen her in forever. I think those kind of things are important because they get so caught up in the social media. They've got a database of pictures that'll be there forever and ever. You know what I'm saying? But it's not really, there's nothing that goes with it. There's not that, again,
human quality, the family quality, the connection between people.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just throwing photos out there, and like they say, photos worth 1,000 words. It is, but words are worth 100,000 words,
or at least a few photos.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's so much that can come up in conversation. Oh my God, do you remember those tube socks or something? Something that was, or look at those bell bottoms. Oh my Lord, look at that. Just things like that. You know what I'm saying? It just draws conversation. That's awesome. I think that's fantastic. So. I think it's important.
Absolutely.
And I think that those kind of things are the things that are important. If we do that, imagine if we do that now, though, with the stuff that we have now, we're going to look back, I'm sure, or somebody is, maybe it's my great grandkids or my grandkids. And you come back and you say, oh my gosh, look at the phone he's using. Or whatever. Oh my gosh, they call it a handheld phone, because they now have, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's real important. I think to capture a lot of this that we have, and I think it'd be cool. There you go. Look at that. See, that's awesome. Ooh. Yeah, that's fantastic. I got a video of my great grandson showing an avatar. See, that's awesome.
Cool.
That's what we need to do. Movie, and I'll have that forever. That's exactly right. And not only you, Richard, not only you will have that, but everybody in your family who has
Mhm.
access to that has it as well. So I think that's kind of where I'm going with this. I think it's important. I really think it's important. I'm really trying. You can tell I've done 2 shows now. I'm really trying to encourage people to get out there and do that.
And
Yes.
and the importance of having that on something like YouTube or Vimeo or someplace, or even just in your accessible shared folders on the iCloud or in Google Drive or in OneDrive, so that others can access it with a link or can go to your channel on YouTube and view. So you have a repository for all of these joyful bits and pieces that you're putting together.
Yeah. Or even the digital recorder that you showed earlier, even if it's just on there, something that they can go back and access, something, some way that everybody knows, hey, look, let's find that thing where, let's find that thing where Michael recorded all that stuff, and that's incriminating evidence. I need to get rid of that.
And embarrassed himself tremendously. Yes.
We need to burn it.
It's interesting. With that recording, John, I've got one of those too, but it was so cool to get the conversation. And because earlier we were also in the green room where we're talking about the update on the phone, and I just used it right now. You can take any photo from Google Photos, and they have a new thing called cinematic photo.
Oh, yes.
It was new to me. I don't have the 7, I've got the 6, so I had to wait. I heard it. You guys probably had it for a while. So it takes any photo. You can take it of, like your grandma or something, right? And then somehow
they animate it.
What's kind of animated it a little bit of it's kind of zooming in kind of thing. But I'm sure there's a way of using that to add some voice to it, so to talking about her or whatever. It's better than just talking about a 2-dimensional photo. This is like, has more of a. There's got to be a better way to produce that with something a little bit more interesting, and then you could throw that onto YouTube, right? Family talking about family, and then have it on the family YouTube channel. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. No, exactly. I just want people to go do it. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
It says my great granddaughter posted a video about a song with flowers in it, and the end is saying she's wishing for some flowers to I think he says, so I sent her a reply sending a picture of me sending her flowers.
That's sweet.
Yeah. Yep.
That's
Yep.
sweet.
And the key is, I think, capturing it in a way, some people it's too difficult to upload to YouTube. Get help on it then. Figure out somebody in your family. I'm sure usually there's one geek in the family that does everybody's,
or the local computer club.
Yeah, that's right. There you go. That's a good idea too. So I think it's really important. I think that's something that we all need to do. Get out there and do it. I think it'd be awesome. So get out there. I'm going to end this. We've been talking for a while. Thank you so much for coming in, members. These guys are members in the community, and you can see whenever we pull up their name, like I'll bring up Jolin's right here. You can see there's a little symbol next to her name. I don't know if you can. It's over there.
There it is.
Yeah, there's a little symbol over there, and that means that she is a member of the community.
No, it's down there somewhere.
It's down over somewhere. I don't know. Everybody just kind of point all over the place. Well, we would love to have you become a member. Anybody that was willing and wants to, because this is the kind of stuff we do and talk about and things. And I really do appreciate it. If anybody's watching this and everybody saw the video from last time, what have you been doing? What have you done? Have you set that date? Have you set that date to sit down and talk? I have. So that's why I want to, once I do that, I'm actually going to give feedback on that as well.
Super.
And how that went. So it's just been tough with anybody that knows me knows I do baseball. So it's just working around my schedule and her
a little legal, keep you busy all the time.
That's right. But I do wanted to say thank you very much. Thank you guys for coming in. We'll do the backstage pass. I'll do that for a little bit. I got a little bit to do with the backstage pass. Any member can come in and join us, and we hope to see you guys there. Anybody that can make it, that's awesome. Thank you guys for coming on live with me. We'll do this again. I love doing this. This is so much fun when we have a conversation, not just me up there blabbing my mouth. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Michael.
Thanks,
You bet. Yep,
Mhm.
of course. Bye, everybody. I'm going to put the link over there for the members. So you know where to get the link, and we'll see you then. But thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye, all.